Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, my fire family. How you doing? Leo, thanks so much for clicking here. I've got an assortment of oracles, and if you've been here before, you know what I'm about to say. I'm going to throw these down for the overall energy for the week ahead, Leo, and then we are going to look at what is coming up in the week ahead. We are going to add tarot to it and get some details. So, got 3 decks here. Leo, how are you? How's things? How's things now that all the planets are direct here? Although I think Mars is about to show up in your sign, if I'm not mistaken. Please go check with your local astrologer, but I think that you're about to have some really big forward movement and changes coming. I think Mars is about to show up in your sign. All right. I could be wrong, so check with an astrologer. But let's find out what's going on here. Leo, if you are brand new and you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Please look at the bottom right-hand corner of this little square where I live, and you will see the subscription button if you would like to stay and join this tribe. Let's find out what's going on with you, Leo. And if you are my ride or die and you're always here, you're the reason I read. You're the reason I'm here all the time. Tell me about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo, please. Leo, we do have Moonlight Goddess, and it says repressed emotions, healing and reflection. Leo, for the last few readings, you've been going through some sort of an awakening of sorts, I would say. It feels like you have been healing the self, and repressed emotions and healing and reflection, and it feels like you are, I'm going to say you're being watched over. It feels like you are somebody who is dealing now with your repressed emotions. I don't think that you're ignoring them anymore. It does feel like the repressed emotions could be something that is from the past, but I feel like you're healing that. You're really reflecting on, on your repressed emotions. We've got card number 2. Look, you're coming into balance. I kind of love that. You're coming into balance here. It's like you're coming to a resolution in the mind, or you're coming to realize, you know what? Maybe it was just unresolved or repressed emotions that I had to take care of. It feels like you're freeing yourself. This person has wings. It feels like you're freeing yourself here. Oh, I love that. Achievement. Keep focused on your dream. So look, if your dream is healing, is coming out of a tough past, a traumatic past, I feel like if you keep focused on that, this lotus flower, look, lotus flower only grows in the mud. That's where it thrives. And I feel like I'm talking to a Leo who is a person who's come out of the mud, who is thriving in the mud. That you've been through the worst type of circumstances, but you, like Leo, I've never met a Leo who ever gave up. Look, my kid's a Leo. He's been through so much already in his young life, and he never gave up. He never will. He'll never lay down. It doesn't matter what sort of fire is in the distance. He'll just grab my hand and say, "Let's head for the fire, Mom." Just stay with me. We'll do it. All right, Leo. Tenacity is what it is. Tell me more about Leo, please. What else do we need to know about Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Hey, if you're cross-watching a Leo, thanks for doing that. Tell me about Leo. We've got the loving woman. So you might have someone who is the loving woman. Look, we do have the Moonlight Goddess, and now we have the loving woman. It feels like you have the... not only are you about to hit a cycle of abundance here, but it does feel like you're feeling a lot more grounded, sturdy, and stable, and a lot more abundant than you used to. I feel like whatever you came through, whatever these repressed emotions were that you decided to bring to the top so you could heal them, it feels like you've, now that you're in this reflection energy, we do see the tree here. I always think that this is the Empress. That's what it looks like to me. Or maybe the Queen of Pentacles, who is in the pre-Empress energy, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, but we see the tree behind her. So I feel like whatever it is that you've come through here, it feels like the influence of the Empress is here. So it could be the influence of a sister or a mother or a father. It could be the influence of someone who gave you love, because this is Venus. If it's the Empress energy, Venus energy is pure love, and that is Libra and Taurus. And I feel like it is somebody who influenced you that way, whether that person is still on the earth or not. We've got the bottom of the deck. We've got back and forth with commitment. I feel like whatever you didn't resolve, whatever was here, this repressed emotion, it was something that you realized finally you have to bring to the surface, or there's just no way that you're ever going to be able to commit to anything in terms of relationship, in terms of whatever the commitment is, right? We've got a contract here. It's be a life contract, could be friendships, could be love, but it feels like, it's caused you to go back and forth on the relationships in your life and not really have any stability in that. Tell me more about Leo. Tell me more about Leo. Put this over here. Tell me about Leo. Tell me about Leo, please. We've got, it's not me. You know what? The repressed emotions here could be a mother wound. It could be a mother wound or a father wound. And what does that mean? You either grew up without a father, or you grew up without a mother, or you didn't have a good relationship with that person. It feels like it's not you, I'm going to say. You, of course, were left with the carnage. You were left with the 8, which is putting the hard work in on something. It's also about self-mastery. So I feel like you were left to clean up whatever this is. This influence of this loving woman feels like it caused repressed emotions for you. So it feels like it could be a disjointed relationship that you had with somebody who is feminine or masculine in your life. And so it caused you to have disjointed relationships, friendships, love ships. And because this is telling me that it's not you. You're the one that was left doing all the hard work, though. You're the one that was left having to pick up the pieces and do the self-mastery. But it feels like maybe the repressed feelings are because of not really having a stable or secure relationship with your mother or your father. It feels like a mother wound or a father wound is what it feels like. You're getting freedom from that, though, because card 17 is here, and that's the healing. Look, I can't write a better story than that. It's really kind of beautiful. Oh, look, it was from when you were a child. I really do feel like that's what it is. Yes, the loss of a child. So look, you could be someone who lost a child, but I feel like this is a loss of a childhood, that you're now experiencing happiness because you've got freedom. It does feel like somebody here had a really big gaping hole in their heart from something that happened to them as a child. Let's get some tarot on it. Let's find out what else is going on here, Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Leo, don't forget, there is a sale on now for private reads if you're interested. 10% off if you're interested in a pre-recorded reading. There is a coupon code, and there is a link to Hipsy in the first comment at the top of the comments there. If you've booked with me before and you do have a username and a password for Wizio, it will work in the Hipsy site. They are sister sites. And if you are wishing to connect with me face-to-face, we can do it through phone, we can do it through text, we can do it through face-to-face readings if you'd like to do that during private readings. And I'm offering 75% off the first 10 minutes of that if you're interested. Go take a look at all the pricing and move accordingly. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me what's going on. What else do we need to know? Got the 9 of Cups. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like there's a block to your wish fulfillment. And we have the Ace of Swords. You know what the block is? It's understanding. It's a realization or an aha moment. It's a triumphant realization of clarity. And so I feel like that's what blocks you from your wish fulfillment, is this 5 Pentacles. It's the block to me. So it feels like you were left out in the cold. And so I'm just going to go along with the energy that I was getting off those cards here, that you were left out in the cold by someone. Someone left you to do it all on your own. So you probably raised yourself. Even if you grew up in a household where there was one parent or two, I feel like you were the person who was maybe the person who raised your siblings. You're somebody who had to get through the hardship all by yourself, that nobody really helped you. I think you were expected just to endure it and not ask for help, and so you didn't. I feel like there is wish fulfillment here, but I feel like until you achieve what you want to, which is getting these repressed feelings out of the way? I feel like you will, because the understanding is here. Understanding the Five of Pentacles is really paramount to your happiness, is what it is. Understanding why you were left out in the cold, and sometimes it is because, people didn't have tools, right? Sometimes our parents didn't have the kind of tools that we have now. And so they did the best that they could with what they had. And I'm not giving anybody a break, but, not everybody has the same opportunities as others. We have the Page of Cups here. Look, the good news is that wish fulfillment is coming. You're going to figure this out. Well, because you're smart and you're brave. And there's nothing that's going to hold you down. You're going to figure it out. The Page of Cups is here. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Judgment card. I kind of love this because I feel like the reason why you're running around bumping into things. And when I say that, I mean like it almost feels like maybe you had a blindfold on because you weren't taught. You were taught to repress your feelings. You weren't taught to feel your feelings. I'm looking at you, masculines. Those of you who are masculine leaning, I'm looking at you. Maybe somebody said stop crying. Could be in a sissy. It feels like you were repressing emotions, and now those emotions are coming to the surface. And when they do, it feels like it wasn't you that caused the wound, but it is your responsibility to get your stability and your abundance in order. Your happiness is here. All it's going to take is to break through the Five Pentacles where you're feeling in lack in order to get this worked out. So we have the Knight of Wands, and it's in the reverse. And I feel like you stopped running into things. You stopped doing relationships because you knew they weren't working. You didn't know why, but maybe you just decided, you know what, I'm just going to be a lone wolf. I'm not going to get attached to anybody. I feel like the Knight of Wands is telling me that once you slowed your life down just a little bit and looked at the Five Pentacles and said, oh, that's what was going on here. I think that the good news is that you realized it. It feels like somebody here realized it, that I need to build a stronger structure. I need to have more structure in my life. I need to become the person that I didn't have when I was growing up. So we do have the Judgment card. It feels like you are making a decision to do different than your parents, do different than your sisters or brothers, whoever this wound was caused by. It doesn't have to be caused by a parent. It could be caused by a friend or a sister or a brother, right? It feels like this Judgment card is telling me here what you're leaving in the past, what you're leaving in the grave is the Knight of Wands. You're no longer doing this instability thing, going in and out of relationships, whether they're friendships, relationships with people that you fall in love with, or people that you end up getting connected to emotionally or through passion possibly. It feels like you're not doing that anymore. There's a big decision that you're making here to build a better, stronger structure so I can do the right thing. That's Taurus energy. I need to get on a straighter path instead of going back and forth here and wondering whether, I feel like you're like, why can't I find a commitment? How come it never works out for me? And I think it's because it's bigger than you. I think they're just figuring, this is a really deep reading. This might even be a personal reading for somebody, I'm just saying. But it feels like somebody here has, you do have access to your wish fulfillment, and I feel like you're about to get it. I'm just going to say, there's the Ten of Cups. The good news is the Ten of Cups is here. I feel like you will have it, but it's going to take a realization, and it's going to take, sewing up some of the wounds that were caused by people, and that you had no structure, I feel, when you were growing up. We do have the Empress. We could be talking about a mother energy for some of you. We have the Empress here, and I was saying that that's a mother or a father, right? Feminine or masculine. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Look, it's really beautiful. At the end of all of this, when you decide to give up, when you decide to work really hard on what it is that you want and work towards your achievement here, card number 17, the achievement, I believe, is healing. Card number 17 is the Star in the, look, that's a beautiful piece. It's the Star in the tarot, right? Which comes after the Tower, which means that you've gone through some sort of a really huge awakening or a tower here. So keep focused on what your dream is here. Peace says dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. You know what? That's what it feels like. We've got card number 26, which is an 8. 8 is here. It says it is not me. It's not you that caused the wound, but it's you that's responsible for closing the wound, for stitching up the wound. So I really do feel like it was a mother or father energy that left you out in the cold, is what it looks like here. This has to do with family, definitely. And it feels like you were really given no stability in your childhood. And I'm not blaming crap on your childhood. I'm really not. But listen, those things linger. And if you think that they don't, then maybe you're not as awake as you think you are. Those scars, they do not heal until you find a doctor that can help you heal those scars. And we do have the Ace of Pentacles here. So I feel like after you make this judgment, or you have this realization that I really need to do the self-audit and heal those open gaping wounds that were caused by maybe the harshness, detachment of the Ace of Swords. It feels like a realization that I got to get down to work. I got to get down to business, because the Seven of Pentacles is about throwing your seeds of intention and then nurturing the self, right? Nurturing whatever path you're taking. And then 7 + 1 is 8. That's the harvest. So if you work hard on this, you will have a harvest, I believe. Tell me what judgment is bringing here, because this is the place at which you decide to make, like you were going down this path and decide to take a right or a left, is what it feels like here. We've got, oh, I love it. The Six of Swords is here, your decision to move forward. And so, you know, the reason that you're doing it all is because I feel that you really do want to have a happy family. Look, you could be somebody who has children already, or somebody who's maybe decided not to have kids because I don't want to happen to them that happened to me. It feels like here you want to have a decision to have a happy home, stability for your family, and it feels like you're going to have to leave something behind in order to do that. You're going to have to get out of the chaos of the mind, and you're going to have to move forward into calmer waters here, but it is a decision. And I feel like you're used to chaos. Look, when you get into it, and for those of you who grew up with a lot of trauma in your past or your childhood, you might be someone who lives in chaos. And you might enjoy when life is so busy that all you can have the energy to do is to fall into bed at the end of the day. And it feels like this Two of Pentacles is telling me that you enjoy juggling, because then you don't have to deal with everything that's going on around you. But the truth of the matter is, I feel like you've been bumping into things, because the Fool is here. And yes, we have new beginnings, but the new beginnings are not well thought out. I haven't looked. Is there, at the bottom of this cliff, is there water? Is there rocks? Is there mountains? And so the Fool is like, I don't want to look foolish doing this, but I feel like you keep running into situations that end up breaking friendships, relationships. Yeah, you end up walking away. So I think your intention is, yeah, I'm going to take a leap of faith, but because you're not prepared, and I don't think that it's that you're not prepared, but it feels like you have this back and forth energy because something here has never been healed. Yeah, you need to root yourself here. There it is. You need to root yourself, get your emotions strong before you start inviting people into your life. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that right there. I'll leave it right there. Thank you, Leo. That was kind of deep. My energy is kind of tapped from that. I really do believe that you are going to figure this out, because the Ace of Swords is here with the Judgment card. It tells me that you have a realization that if I work really, really hard on it, that I will have my harvest, and no more taking a leap off of the edge of the cliff without knowing whether the water is going to break your fall or whether you're falling into the rocks. I feel like you're going to remove the chaos from your life, go to the calm, and that is going to give you far more stability. Look, we plan this life. We plan it before we get here. I believe that. You don't have to. I always tell you guys, you don't have to believe what I believe. But I feel like you came here to correct this. That's what it feels like to me. Came here to correct something that happened in another life, and I feel like you're on the right path. I feel like you're going to correct it. You're going to correct it this lifetime. It'll be your achievement, the achievement of the ages for you. You will finally be healing whatever was in the past, maybe in this life or previous ones. I'm going to leave that right there. Thanks, Leo, for coming here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to be back because I'm always back. And if you're here, of course I'll be back. You guys take care. Bye-bye.